everyone and welcome. I'm Marcie Besecker and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up and I am from Clovis, California. I was just a few seconds late because as you can see, my overnight box just now showed up. Now UPS used to deliver at by 11:30 I think, or by noon. Not anymore apparently. So we just got our box, and so not that I'm doing an unboxing tonight because of bingo, which is one of the things I think I'm going to try to do is move bingo to the last Wednesday of the month. That way it doesn't interfere with pre-order and I can do the unboxing and all that good stuff because I hate waiting, right? So we are going to do bingo tonight, but I think tomorrow I may do an unboxing. So make sure you are looking for me. Once I get it all put together, you can see like right there, I have all my magnets, my DSP, everything ready to go. I have not, the box is still sealed. They just drove off right now, which is why I was like a couple minutes late. And that, and I have dinner in a crock pot, and it's like a 4-hour cook. And my husband's like, it's not hot yet. You got to come see. I don't think the crock pot's on right. So I went and, you know, anyway, it's fine. It's hours. It'll be fine. So he's like, I just want to make sure I don't want to interrupt you in the middle of your show. Anyway, so welcome. Tonight is bingo night. I'm super excited. I love bingo night because it's so much fun. I did read a bunch of stuff at the beginning. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm not going to go all the way back up, but welcome. Hi, Susan. Kathy, how are you? Hi, Marcia. Gloria, hi. Let me just scroll down and make sure there's no questions. We do have new people tonight, so I'm going to explain bingo. So I'll do that quickly. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any questions. Is it time yet? So close. All right. Hi, everybody. Stacy. Hi, Rose. 88 in Northern California. Heather, it is Central California here, and it is 89. And gloomy. Is it gloomy up there? Of course, it's kind of gloomy up there a bit, but more than here, I think. But it is kind of gloomy. I do still have a few bingos available. So I think 3. So if you're interested, there's a link below. Make sure you click on May Bingo, which is tonight's bingo. And then give me your numbers in the chat here so that I know, and we'll be good to go. Crystal, I sent you a message. So if you could respond to that when you get a chance, that would be great. No hurry. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. Most of you may know that we had a pre-order. And so you might have seen some items. I'm super excited. One item, well, there's only like 3 things I didn't get, but one of them I wasn't going to get, but I ended up getting it because I have an idea. So we'll see if I could execute the idea that I'm thinking. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. I already have the registration and sign up for June Bingo below. So June Bingo will be on the 24th. I'm not sure that that's the last Friday of next month, but Wednesday. But the issue with that is I'm going to be going to Riverton and coming back. And so right now we're kind of going in between my summertime trips. And so who knows when it'll be. But we're going to do it the 24th. I think I come home the 20th and then I leave again at the beginning of July. So we should be good. And I've already got some great projects created for next month. So yay, I'm excited. All right. So bingo is usually a longer evening. We play bingo. I give away prizes and it's going to be a lot of fun. Your envelopes are ready and packaged. They're not closed in case I made a boo-boo. I can fix it. So this is how it works. You give me your 5 numbers. I think everybody is good with your 5 numbers. They cannot be over number 30. So if you gave me over number 30, we are going to have to fix that. And I don't see that anybody did. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we play, I do a project, and then we play bingo. Bingo is I will pull out numbers out of my new jar. I'll tell you that story in a minute. Out of the new jar, we will pull numbers out, and once if I hit one of your numbers, you're going to put a B in the chat. So please make sure you are on your YouTube to where you can chat. Make sure you're signed in, and that way you can play bingo if you've paid and registered for bingo. Okay, so what you're going to do is if I put your number down, you're going to put a B in the comment and hit enter. And then if I call your second number or another one of your numbers, you're going to have BI ready to go. And when I call the second one, you hit enter, because it's the first person that posts bingo is going to be the winner, and they will win a $100 shopping spree in my store. So what happens is you will send me your order, and it can be over $100, but the first $100 I will pay and cover for you. Okay. So let's say you wanted to put a $200 order in. You're going to give me your order. I'm going to get it all in the system ready to go. I will screenshot the total for you, send that to you along with an invoice, a PayPal invoice. So let's say it's 200. I'll pay the first 100, and then you'll pay the second. I'll invoice you for that $100. Once I receive it, I submit your order, and Stampin' Up sends your stuff directly to you. Okay. Your projects do not leave until tomorrow, because I like to make sure that I don't have any boo-boos. I didn't miss anything. I didn't forget to put anything, because I will pull out a kit that's just like this that I am doing, that you get. This is, I pulled one out, and I will do it, and I should have everything in here that you need. If I don't, I try to fix that tonight and then get that out to you still tomorrow, which is why your envelopes aren't sealed yet. Depends on how quick and easy it is. But usually I send them out on Thursday. And then when you get your projects, you just come back and create at your leisure in the description below. If you click on the more button under the description, it'll open up, and tomorrow or later tonight, it will say project 1, project 2. My daughter this week has been calling me like every night, and twice she's caught me right in the middle of my video, but I've talked to her, so she's just chatting on her drive home. You will come back and you can click on project 1, 2, 4, whichever one you want to do, and then create it with your kit. And so I like to do it ahead of time. Number one, you can see what mistakes I might make, or things that I maybe change or thought of, oh, I should do this instead. And then I'll let you know. I mean, you'll see me create it, obviously, because some of these I've made last month. Like right now for June, 4 of your projects are already done. When I say 4 of your projects, because sometimes you get 5, one's a bonus, like a thank you. And then sometimes I make 6 or 7 or 8, and then I pick and choose which ones are going to be bingo, and then which ones might be just a regular video for me or my customer thank you cards or whatever. Okay, you can win bingo one time. And remember, it's the first person that says bingo. You can also, if you are a consolation winner, you can also opt out of the consolation and continue going for the remainder of the bingos during the night. If it's a consolation, it could be gems, a stamp set, paper. It could be lots of things. It will be new, new as in not used, but it could be retired. It could be brand new. It could be current. So it could be, usually if it's retired, you might get some extra stuff. So it's just whatever I've got going on. That being said, I want you to know too, I still do have flat rate boxes. The people that purchased today, actually yours are going out tomorrow with bingo. So those will be going out. And I think that is about it. If I'm not forgetting anything. So tonight, chat, have fun, and we're going to get started. I start with project number 1, and then bingo, project number 2, bingo, and so on. Project number 4 is really a fun project, and I cannot wait to share it with you. All right, let's see. Making sure everybody's good. Now, does anybody need their numbers? I'm going to go ahead and start project 1, but I'll check back and make sure if anybody needs their numbers, let me know. And I think that's about it. I like to start with the projects first. The volume just went down. I have not touched anything, so I'm not sure why. Mine shows in the red when I'm talking, which means it's high volume from me. Is everybody else okay? Lisa, maybe go out and back in, which reminds me, if you do jump back out or refresh, or even if you're like on Chrome and go to a different page and come back, it's very important to grab the bar at the bottom of your video. If you hover your mouse over it, your bar is you want to grab it and pull it over to the right, okay? Let's see. Crystal, did the volume go down for you too? Anybody else, did the volume go down, or is the volume the same? It should be the same. Let me double check my volume and make sure where I am at. No, mine's up. It says it's up completely, and my bar is the same. Oh, okay. All right, you're good then. All right, so we're gonna get started. Okay, great, Stace, thanks. Okay, let's get started. And if you do register, make sure you give me your numbers on here. Make sure I see them, please. And then that way I don't have to go and check my mail. Just write your numbers down here. It's going in and out. It's weird. Okay, I'm going to move up. My microphone's right here. Maybe I was a little far from it for you. So all good there. Okay. I'm not sure, Lisa. Hopefully you're going to be able to hear it okay. All right, so let's get started. If you are new and you have any questions, please ask. Everybody watching. They're playing, and or not everybody, but most people that are watching are playing, and they can probably answer it if I don't see your question. It's the same. Okay, good. All right, thank you. Hi, Deborah. All right, so let's get started. So here is project number 1. Have a fabulous day. So one of the things about bingo is I try to do projects to where you don't need a stamp set other than maybe a sentiment. Now, you may, like, for example, if I did this whole card and I stamped some flowers right here, you could probably find a stamp in your supplies where you could just put some flowers. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be the same flowers. But these, I decided to go with the dies. And when I can go with dies, that's what I do. Sorry, I just had to get a drink. Right before UPS came, I had to run out and make tea. My tea was gone and I forgot, and I needed to have a drink. All right, so this is what your kit's going to look like. It's going to say project 1. Okay, we're going to pull that out. We're also getting ready to go camping this weekend. I say camping, it's glamping. We go to a resort that has cabins. And I think there's like 14 cabins in like this little cul-de-sac. And our whole family takes them, except like maybe 3 of them. And we have cousins and all our siblings. My husband's family, his siblings and nieces and nephews, everybody goes. Even my son Scott and his family usually go. However, Grayson's in All-Star Baseball now, so they won't be going this year. And I'm guessing they're probably not going to be going for a while because of All-Stars. Okay, so the inside, what we're going to do is, this is that new, the In Color family paper that I call it. The polka dots are also from the In Color family paper. So it's got the larger polka dots on the back, the smaller on the front. All the supplies should be listed below. So you should be able to, see what you need there. Make sure you keep all your little pieces. You're going to have little flowers. You're going to have your gems. Just kind of, keep them together so we don't lose them. And we are going to start with this. Well, let me wipe my mat off here. You know, there was a couple things I wanted to do before I started, and then UPS showed up and my tea wasn't made, and you know how it goes. All right, let me dry that. All right, so it's still wet. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna just add our adhesive here and put it at the bottom. This is 3/4. Now, a lot of people ask me about PDFs for bingo. I do not do PDFs for bingo because it is just a lot. And you're getting all of your pieces. You could, you know, lay them out, measure them. And so, and it's, you know, for people that pay for the class, for the bingo. And so I don't give the measurements usually on here. We would be here all night. All right, so we're just going to add that. Of course, if I remember, this 3/4 of an inch, just my normal. And then we are going to glue this. You know how hard it is for my box to be sitting over here and not open it? But I'm sure you wanted to do bingo tonight, so... So I told my husband, I think I'm going to have to do an unboxing tomorrow. Which is okay. I do pack some craft stuff when I go on my glamping trip. Because sometimes the weather is kind of yucky, or the guys, they don't care if the weather early in the morning is cold, or at night when they want to go night fishing. We either play games, or I've taken paper pumpkins before and everybody's done that. This time I think I'm going to take, I had bought some scrapbook, the beach one scrapbook kit, because I'm going to make a scrapbook for my granddaughter. She is the one that went with me to Disney World last year, and they gave us a package of special Disney DSP for a scrapbook. And so that's what I'm going to do, is make that for her so she can put, when we go to Hawaii, she can put those in there, and then she can do that. Absolutely love card number 1. Is that hydrangea blue cardstock? Yes, it is. I love this color. So yeah, this is the new in color family paper. And so this is the hydrangea cardstock. All right, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to take our frame. This was the first card I did. What I did is I measured this, and then I did your paper just a little bit bigger. You can use whichever side you want. I like the more watercolor look. So we are going to take our frame. I use my silicone mat a lot. If you guys don't have this, you definitely want to get a silicone mat. I have, I don't know, 3 that I'm using, and then I have new ones that I really think I should just pull out because I use them so much. All right, we're just going to add some glue around the outside. You don't need a whole lot. You just need enough to make it stick, because of course we're going to put dimensionals on this and it's going to stick anyway. So let's go ahead and lay that down. And then I'm going to turn it over because I want to make sure that my lines look straight and not all kind of wonky. And that looks fine. So I'm going to leave that, and we'll move that over and let that just sit. Okay, now we're going to do some stamping and some coloring. Stamping and glamping. Oh yeah. Could you invoice me after the bingo? I could could you invoice me after bingo? I could like to play. Oh, you want to play tonight, Teresa? Teresa, there's a link below and it says May Bingo. Just click on that link and it'll do everything for you. You pay right there through PayPal, and you don't have to have PayPal. You can you pay through it. And so it takes your money and everything right there. But do let me know what your numbers are, please. Okay, so now we're going to do some coloring. So let's do some stamping first. Let's do our stamping, which is Have a Fabulous Day. We're just going to use black. I have not switched over to the new black ink pad yet. I still love this one. Gloria, I am not sure. It just depends on how long it takes me to get everything put together. Because I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to package yours guys. It's all packaged, but I'm going to get that all figured out and ready to go. And Barb, your paper share will go with it. So your bingo is in with it. It's already ready to go. All right, so there's that one. So our sentiment's done. Now we're going to do some coloring. And this is what I do a lot with bingo, is I give you guys a lot of white die cuts. Okay, so we're going to leave this white. So we'll leave that. This is the bow, which coordinates with the inside, which is how I decided to do the dots on the inside, is because we're going to do the bow. And we're going to leave our gems. We don't need those right now. So let's start with our vase. Okay. And this set, the sentiment comes from Phrases and Frames. And this is all listed below. You can see it all. So I'm not going to do this for every card because you'll see it all on there. Phrases and Frames is the frame, and the impression plate is what we used for that. And then, of course, the Life in... Oops. Hello. The Life in Bloom. Oh, I just lost a flower. All of this just picked up a flower. That's what I get for trying to keep it all in a little bucket. All right. And then the Life in Bloom. This is the bow, and this is our vase. Here's our design and our flowers. Okay. So there's that. All right, so we are going to take the light crumb cake, and you want to go over this and just color this light. I don't go over it too dark. I just make sure I take the white out everywhere. So I kind of lay it down because I don't want it really dark. I want it kind of light and airy. All right, so there we go. So that's going to dry. So that's our vase. So we'll set that aside, and we'll set that aside. And now we're going to do some coloring. So we need our flowers. There's 8 flowers, okay? There's 4 on each side. So let's bring in our flowers. Now I think I picked them all up. And there is a flower that the shapes kind of match, but I don't know if tonight I'm going to sit here and take my time to figure it out, but we'll kind of play with it. You can tell like this one's longer and that one's longer, so it's kind of easy to figure it out, but just keep that in mind when you put those on there, that I think that these kind of fit better on some spots than others. All right, we're going to take our light hydrangea hue, and I am going to color our flowers. So I don't like to color over an old color, so we're just going to bring these over here to the left because I think it picks it up. All right. Isn't it funny when you this color, I'm telling you, it first looks so purple and then it looks kind of blue. It kind of changes. And you can tell by... That looks purple. Well, that looks purple and this looks blue. All right. So just color all of your flowers with your light hydrangea hue. It's so much easier to take a white piece of paper and just cut everything, because then your flowers I just like the way it looks on white. Otherwise you would have, all your flowers would be dark like this. And I think this just gives it a little more interest, and it's softer looking instead of so dark. So I do like to do this a lot. So it's not just bingo that I do this. I do it a lot for myself. And honestly, it's easier to do your die cutting, because then you can change it. You can do whatever color you want. So let's say you wanted to use this card for a wedding card or something, and they have a particular color, then you can change that. All right, so on here, I don't know if I did, but I think I did, yeah. So I even colored the flowers. So we'll start over here, because once you put your flowers on top, then you don't have that white below. So I just go on and do just a loose coloring. And then just kind of think about where you know, what could be a leaf. Like right here, this is part of a flower, but that stem obviously goes somewhere. So I just kind of leave it to be green. And then that. And then this one looks like it goes through there. And if it's not exactly, you can always, once you put your flower on, you can always, you know, add your green underneath it, and it's fine. Like where the flowers aren't at. And we can fix that later. All right, so there's our hydrangea hue. We're going to take light Lost Lagoon, and we're going to just do this one plant stem because it looks different. Okay, right there. So that'll look, it's going to look different. So take this one, and I did a different color on that one. I did cloud cover, but I kind of like the Lost Lagoons. So I thought I'd do it different and show you, and you can choose whichever one you want. This one's getting kind of... Okay, so when my tip gets frayed like that, I just cut it. I cut the tip where it looks like it's all dry. And like there's no ink. And then that way it's easier to color. All right, so there we go. So see how the top part, it's getting a lot lighter. And then we're going to take soft sea foam. And do everything else. So remember, your flowers are going to go on top there, so it's not that. I even do the bottom, even though that's where you're gluing, just in case you do see a little bit of that. It'll just look like it's green like the plant. I'm going to go straight up. Your flowers are going to go over those. Just give it some different color. All right. There we go. Not too hard. All right, now let's get our vase, and we're going to glue that. So I want this back in here. And we're going to put our vase on. How pretty that is. All right, so there's our vase. And now I take mini dimensionals, and we're going to put our flowers on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take your pick and just kind of get an idea where these go. So this one is short and stubby without any long petals. And so I think that one, where'd they go? Okay, I'm losing them now. I think we're going to put this one here. This one's long, but not thin. So they're not going to match exactly, but I try to put the longer stem because they're going to be popped up anyway. This one. Just kind of get an idea. Does not have to be perfect. All right, so we're just going to do those like this. Now I'm going to put dimensionals on them. Oh, Tracy, let me write your numbers down. Uh, 7, 21, 24, 27, and 17. Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, so now let's put our dimensionals, our mini dimensionals. And I just like to pick it up and put it as close as in the middle as you can. And yes, you're going to see it through the hole, but that's okay. That helps your rhinestones stay on. All right, so we're going to put that one right there. Oh, now they all bounced, but that's okay. They don't have to be exact, but I like them at least kind of on top of the flower. Not all crazy. All right, so there's those. All right. So just layer them up. And so I just put the long, you know, the long petal just where the longest one looks. I did not know that technique. Oh, with the blend markers? Yeah, I love using blend markers, and I cut a lot of stuff white, especially if it's for a class or whatever. It's just so much easier. But I do it for myself because I just like the color to look, you know, a little lighter or a little more variegated looking. You know, it's not so just dark, like if, you know, it would just be super dark flowers and same as the paper. I like to make it look a little bit different. Another good idea would be is to do two-tone paper. That would be fun too. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our card base here and we're going to put it on top of our card. So decide if you want the dark on the bottom or the dark on the top. I'm going to put the dark on the bottom because we have our sentiment up here on the top. And so that's going to kind of cover that up. And I want that dark to show, but we need to put this up first. And so we're going to put it with regular dimensionals. All right. Oh, that is not good. That is the one problem about doing your dimensionals like this. You got to make sure you hold on to them so they don't stick to everything. I had a hold of them, but this went flying. All right, so I'm just going to put one in the middle. We don't want our piece to cave down, right? And now I'm going to put dark on the bottom. So just center it the best you can. And your edges pretty much go top and bottom, okay? And then your sides, you have just a little bit of space. So you have the best color coordinating something. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. What color do you suggest for the flowers for this card if we don't have the new in colors yet? With this paper, oh gosh, you could use yellow or pink or an orange. Flirty Flamingo would be really pretty. Here's Flirty Flamingo. Would look really pretty. So what, I mean, any color. Any color would be great. By the way, that Delicate Hues DSP just came back in stock. Oh, good. Oh, good, good. All right, so there's that. Now, what you could have done is you could have cut this ahead of time. This is going to go on the back. What I did is I cut right on the, you're kind of covering it up over here, right? So you could either cut it with scissors. I'm going to use my guillotine. Use your trimmer or your guillotine so that it's straight. But I would do right on the center of the diamond. And make sure that that's up at the top, okay? And then that way you can put this right up against your frame, and then you can cut it over here. And if it's not exactly straight, don't worry about it. But what I would do is I would lay this down, kind of get an idea where you want it. Lay it down so that this is flush up against the edge, and hold it and then turn it. And then you could either use your nail or something to mark it, or you could just take this and go right along your frame. I would take your scissors and turn them this way a little bit. It's better to have them a little longer than too short, although we are covering it up. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go right here and then angle it just a little bit. Same thing here, and angle it. That way you're cutting at an angle, and now your piece will fit. So now you want to take this and kind of get an idea where you want to put it. I'm putting it all the way to the bottom of the frame because kind of like it's a counter or a table. Okay. And then I want it to be over the frame. I don't want it to be in, because look, then it's like kind of in the middle, but not really. So I want it over here, and I want this to overlap a little bit. So let's put this on first. I definitely want the tips because those are on the edge. And then I kind of just do little dots on the edges of the corners and in the middle of the little squares or triangles or whatever you want to call it. Not triangles, diamonds. Just put a dot on every corner is going to be plenty. But these edges, you want to make sure that you get those corner edges. Now I know this is my flat edge. I want this to go here. So this is going to go right about here. And it doesn't have to be exact. I just want it kind of behind my frame, my vase, and my flowers. So that's good there. Okay, so remember we did the dots on those little corners and then on the corners and the bottoms down here. You just need a tiny dot. All right, now this is already popped up, so I decided not to pop up this also, because we've got the flowers popped up also. Okay, so I want to do, I'm going to do glue, and we're just going to get our vase down. And I'm going to do around each flower, a little down these little leaves. You don't have to put too much. If your leaves pop up a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything. I just go down the stem and these a little bit. And around those flowers, and we are good to go. Now, I'm going to hold the vase and figure out, I want to go, like, I want even that corner of the vase, the side, the edge to go over a little bit. Okay, so there we go. All right, so there's that. Now, let's do our sentiment. See, it's not so hard. You just color how you want them colored, what you want. So this was cloud cover, and this was Lost Lagoon. So I lightened it up a little bit, but on camera it kind of looks really washed out, but it's really not. So that's Lost Lagoon, and then that is cloud cover. So whatever you want. I thought I would lighten it up a bit and went with that instead. All right, so let's do our little triangle here. You don't need 4 on such a small circle. So I just do a triangle. And I'm gonna put it right, oops, I want the blue to show, so I'm gonna bring it down and just right inside the circle, the frame. And make sure that looks straight. It does. All right, so there's that. Let's add our bow. We're going to definitely do dimensionals with this one. And we will do our minis. Add one in the middle. And if you want to cut the dimensional, the dimensionals down a little bit, you don't need, a whole mini, but I do. All right, so let's put our bow on. Bow right here, right on our vase. And now we're going to put our gems on. And so look, if you look, your little mini dimensional is popping through there. So it's sticky already, right? So now we're going to take our rhinestones. Sorry guys, Carmen, I'm going to write your numbers down right now because once the chat starts going, I hate to not be able to find it. Okay, Carmen. 5. Okay, Carmen, I got it. Thank you. All right, so let's keep putting this on. So I have Teresa and Carmen. If there's somebody else, make sure I see it, you guys. I didn't see anybody else. All right, we're going to put this one. So all we got to do is add the, I just had to have the little rhinestones on here. I just love these. So we're going to add these. Now, if you wanted to, you could add your in color dots and add maybe the, to get that little pop of color, you could do like the golden glow, or you could even do the cantaloupe or the pink. Any of those would look really pretty. All right, there we go. Super simple. I might have went over this color like an extra color instead of so light. With this paper being so light up here, I probably could have went over those flowers one more time to make them darker, but it's just whatever you want. Now this is light Lost Lagoon and this is light cloud cover. So it just depends on, what you're looking for, what kind, whatever your image. This one I did a little bit of a lighter brush stroke. This one I probably did it a little heavier, which is crumb cake. And there you go. But now, if you did this in white and you just cut quite a few of them, you can do different colors. And you don't have to do the same color for everybody. Was that cut from a die? Which one, Lisa? The flowers? Were the flowers cut from a die? I don't know which one you're looking at. The flowers were a die. The vase, the bow, and this, it's all a die. The circle was a die and the frame. Everything was a die. So there you go. That is card number 1. So that is quick and simple. So there is your first project. Okay, so we're going to start bingo. Now, if somebody comes in later, the diamonds are the rhinestones that we have. So those are the little rhinestones that we have. So they're gems. We're going to start bingo. So let me move this out of the way. I will put our projects up there. Okay. If anybody needs their numbers, now is the time to let me know. And I will tell you a little story. So my other jar was like this, and it had a big old crack down it. And I was using that jar for a long time. And then I got it at our retreat that we go to in April. Well, when we went this last retreat, one of the ladies, she watches me and she does play bingo sometimes, and she saw that, you know, it had been broken, and I've been trying to find something this size to do my numbers in because the other one was broken. I pinched myself a couple times on it. Well, she brought it to me because I think a couple years ago at the retreat, she gave us, I believe it was her that gave us, or somebody did, gave us these little containers, and I think it had lights in it and candy or something in it. And so it might have been her that gave us, and originally gave these to us, or maybe she saw it in the store in town, because it could have been somebody else that gave them to us. I can't remember now, but so she brought it. She said, oh, here, I brought you another bingo container. So thank you, Anna. All right, so here we go. Everybody, I'm assuming has your numbers. And we are going. If you come in late and you want to play, make sure, number 1, you grab your bar at the bottom of the video and you pull it all the way to the right so that you are caught up. Just hover your cursor over your video and make sure you grab that red bar and move it all the way to the right. Because it never fails that I will start the next card and somebody says B and they're way behind. So I don't want you to be behind and miss your bingo. Okay. All right. So here we go. First number is 24. So if you come in late, yes, you can continue playing bingo if you'd like. You can't qualify for the old bingos. It's in the current time somebody says bingo. I do tend to go a little faster at the beginning because obviously nobody's going to have bingo with, you know, less than 5 numbers. Number 6. And then what I do is I'm watching everybody post and we kind of see where everybody's at. So yep, Teresa has a B. Leslie, Cheryl, so it's just like that. Number 18. And I have little dragonflies on here because my team is the Stamping Dragonflies. Oh, hi, Steph. Dealing with idiots. Oh, I'm sure. Number 20. This is our first game. Steph, you just missed the first card. Number 2. All right, lots of B's. Leslie has a BI. And Dolores has a BI. Number 8. And the last time I did numbers, they were in colors and they're going away. And so it just makes sense to not do in colors because then I have to make new numbers. Number 21. Number 19. Also, for the new people, so you know, I'm ahead of what I see on my YouTube. So I tend to wait a little bit. We do closed captions, and so it does slow down the length between what's live and me going. But what I see first is, you know, the same as what you're going to see. Number 27, and Dolores has a BIN. And Carol has a BIN. Ooh, Dolores has BING now. Let's shake it up for you. Number 30. Number 30. Number 11. I told my husband I have to turn it on the air because it gets warm in there at night when I'm in here. Oh, we got some BINs. Number 9. The dragonflies also help me know the difference between the 6 and the 9 because I made that mistake once. And every time I put a 6 or... Oh, Dolores. Dolores has a bingo. Let's look. Let's see. 6, 11, 18, 19, and 21. Dolores, congratulations. Yay, Dolores. Okay, so Dolores has bingo number 1. The other thing to keep in mind is please, please give me your bingo winning, your order, by the end of the month. Okay, the end of the month is the 31st and I am leaving town. So please make your order by the 30th if possible. Okay, so I can get your order in and submitted for you so it can be on its way. So yay, congratulations, Dolores. I don't see any others, no consolations. So we are going to continue on. Yay, congratulations, Dolores. Now, of course, she, you know, if you win a bingo, you don't want to continue. You know, you're going to win. And now she cannot win another bingo. Okay, you can only win a bingo one time. And you can only win a consolation one time, which is nice to be able to, you know, continue playing for a big bingo if you want. Okay. All right. So now project number 2. Yay. All right, so project number 2, oh my gosh, this is another fun card using some white. We're going to do some coloring. And this is Lily of the Valley. And so you're going to see a lot of texture and some different things that we did there. So to explain a little bit about this, when you see this kit, you're going to notice I emboss the arches. I supply the arches. I try to supply everything that I can. Because the arches, I cannot assume that you have the arches. So I don't want to just give you a piece of paper and say, okay, make your arches, because what if you don't have them? So I give those to you. And then also I'm embossing, and I could just give you white and Blackberry Bliss and say, here you go. It would be pretty. And, but I just loved this embossing folder. And there may be a time I might give it to you and you can emboss whatever you want to on it. But I just loved this embossing folder. And that's the new, oh, what is it called? It's right here. Floral Sprig, I think. Oh, it's a Floral Spray. If you don't have this embossing folder, oh, let's see if I can find a piece of paper over here. Well, this isn't the best piece. I'll have a better one tomorrow when I do my video. But look at that. How beautiful is that? You must get this. And it's a 3D. So Floral Spray 167946. That's the number. And it's so pretty. So I embossed that for you. All right. So here's all of our white stuff. We're going to move that up there. We didn't lose any of it. You should have 3 little flowers right there. Okay. Your gems and this geographical lattice looking piece. your leaf, your sentiment, and your flower. So let's do the inside. I like to do the inside first. We're going to move that over. This is the Lily of the Valley, or Valley of Blooms, or Valley in Bloom, I think is the DSP, the sweet name. But it's so pretty. And then you're going to notice sometimes you'll get a piece like this and it might be too long. And that's just because I try to get the scrap pieces and then add them to finish off our end. Ooh, that is so pretty. I got to think about that. I have an idea for a card and I think that might work. All right, so isn't that funny? Do you do that when you see something and you're like, ooh? I remember when I first started stamping again, and I was in a class, I was taking sign language in college, and my teacher had a dress on, and I was looking at the print and the colors, mostly the colors of her dress. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would make such a neat card. You have done Blackberry Bliss. Oh, I love Blackberry Bliss too. Thank you. Thank you. I have just, I've just been having a lot of fun. And remember yesterday when I said, or the other day, I said my new motto was, if I'm not going to use it, don't get it. And use, well, when I put in my order last night, I didn't get everything. There's 3 things that I did not get. And 1, because I already have a lot of that particular type of thing. 1, I know I will never use it. And what was the other one? Oh, and 1 is just not my thing at all. So it'll be interesting. I'll show you guys tomorrow because I got a little glue coming out right here. There we go. And then I always feel better because at least I didn't buy everything, right? But I like to share what we get, but I also want to make sure it's stuff that I am going to use. And I think I will use it because I came up with some ideas, and then I saw some other things that made me think, okay, you know what? I'm going to use this set. So we shall see. All right, so there's that. All right, so the inside, same thing. I do pretty much the same on the inside if I put a bottom in. I don't always. Sometimes I leave it and I don't put it all in. So, all right, so there's our outside. We don't have ribbon or anything tied around this, so we can put this together. Look at that. That is really pretty. I think it's Pool Party. It looks kind of like a darker Pool Party. I don't think it's Coastal Cabana. That looks pretty dark, but it could be. I don't have that paper in front of me to check, but that paper is gorgeous. And I love this one. All right, so my normal measurements, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 is the Blackberry Bliss. 4 by 5 1/4 is the DSP. I like to do 1/8 of an inch on my cards. My husband was cracking me up. I was filling up like 5 of these the other day, and he's like, why do you have so many? I go, because I go through it. I'm not going to sit here and put tape in it, multiple times a day. I'll just use all of them and then fill them all up. And he goes, oh, that's a good idea. So sometimes I tell him, oh, look what I'm doing. You score it all first and then you cut it because you're doing the same scoring. And then he's like, how do you think of these things? And I'm like, oh, it's trial and error. All right, so for our sentiment, we are using the Lily of the Valley stamp set. To a Forever Kind of Friend. And that's what I'm going to put out on the front. And this label is from the scalloped Oh, it's the new one. What is it called? It's listed below. Scalloped something, and it is listed below. So To a Forever Kind of Friend is what we're going to use. And I'm going to use our Memento Basic Black again. And I'm going to put it right here. So when you're stamping on a stamp like this, so you have the, let's see, I'll do it right here. You have the Forever and the Friends, and it's really cursive-y. If you want to stamp it, make sure it's straight. Look at your straight words. So the 2A and kind of. So when you're on here, you're looking at like across from the scallops or whatever, you know, to make it look straight. And then that way you'll be stamping straight. If you're trying to do it and you're kind of looking more at the cursive words, it may not come out so straight. So just be aware of that. All right. So now we have that. So we'll set that aside. We are going to do some more coloring. And let's see. Now, you could use your brush or you could use your marker. On this, I actually used my brush because you've got all those in and out grooves on there. So I'm going to bring in my Pull Party. And if you notice in the paper, there's Pull Party in the background. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to do, just kind of find your color in there. There's also Blackberry Bliss, so you could use that if you wanted to. But I thought the flowers were going to do that, so I did the the Pull Party. And so I'm just going to add, and I might add just a little more on this to just make it a tiny bit darker, but not too much darker. The gems are a little darker, and it's nice to have that contrast with the two different colors. All right. So funny because when I first start doing my bingo, the projects are in stock. So now hopefully they are. I don't know if they are or not. But make sure if you go to look for something and it's not in stock, make sure that you put your email in there, because your email, they'll email you and tell you when stuff's back in stock. That's what I do. And that's how I post and say, oh, look, it's back in stock, because I just got a notification saying that something's back in stock. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to, let's glue these together. And I'm going to use liquid because we've got an embossing folder. And I like to go close to the edge, at least a little bit of glue, and then in here. And I just like to make sure that some of the flatter spots I put a decent amount, because it can get up in that groove and it's not going to adhere to your paper. All right, so there we go. That's good. We'll move that over. And now we're going to do some coloring. We're going to take our leaf. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way. I don't mind that I've got the Pull Party because it's close to the same kind of colors. I just don't want to pick up another alcohol color. All right, we're going to take our light lemon lime twist, and we're going to do our stem and our leaf. And we're going to think that we started with the light. Yeah. All right, so I like to lay it down. It's just better on the nib, I think. If you're doing it like this, it's going to kind of mess up your nib. So I just like to do that. And then I like to kind of roll it too, so that you get all the sides. You're not just doing the one side. Now we're going to have to do it a little bit different. And we're going to take the light. No, let's go ahead and do the dark first. We're going to do the dark on the stem. And there's one of my stems again. Now this is the dark lemon lime twist. And I'm just going to do the stem. And we're going to use the light on here too, so I'll show you that in a minute. All right. So So just go right up to the edge of that flower, and then right there, you're going to see that the stem comes right up to that flower. So I just kind of do like a little swooshy mark like that right around that flower. And then I come back and I do like a little swirl like it's the bottom of that little flower, so that you still get your stem there, but you're not intruding on that pretty flower. Make sure you get all those little stems. This one. Go all the way up to your flower. There we go. We got our stem. All right, so now we've got the whole stem. Now I'm going to bring the light in, and what I do is I just do a little, like a little flick down like that. So just like a little kind of marks, just to make it look like the green is at the base of the flower. Just like three little flickers. It doesn't have to be solid. I do it in a lighter color. I don't want it like super crazy. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so it just looks a little more like it's, you know, like it's the base of that flower. And then if you wanted to, you can come in with your lift and just kind of blend that and soften it up a little bit if you want to. I just kind of do it downward a little. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. All right, now more tea. All right, now we're going to do our light Blackberry Bliss. And you're going to want your color lifter. I'm getting quite the pile of blends over here. Okay, so you're going to take your light Blackberry Bliss. And what I did is I just did little circles right across the bottom. And I did like 3 of them. Just little circles across the bottom. And I did like 3 at a time. Don't do a bunch, because you might want to, you know, you just want to blend it a little bit. So I'm just going to add, and it's not going to look like it's blending, but it will soften up that color a little bit. All right. So I'm going to soften it up. Again, doing this in circles. You are not going to think it's doing anything, but I'll show you. Okay, so watch. Let me see if I can get here's that dark piece again. So see the difference between these two and this one? It just softens up that color a little bit. And if you wanted to, you can come back in and just do the bottoms in the dark purple, and I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to soften that up. All right, because remember, you're gonna color these 3 also. Oh, here they are. Those 3. All right, so again, we're going to continue on. I'll just do these 4 now because I just have 4 left. This one you got to be careful because that's where that green stem comes out the bottom of that flower. All right, so there's that. We're going to want to soften these up a little bit. And you don't have to. If you want to keep them darker, you can. I just soften them up. And you'll see, like, my white is really, my color lifter is a little, I have 2 pulled out, but one is on its way out here. Okay, so those will soften up again. See how those are even getting lighter? So you can soften those up even more, and they'll lighten up even more. But then if you wanted to, you can bring your bullet back in and just kind of go right around the edges to, you know, get that little darkness on them. So you can tell, don't do it super slow, but slow enough to where you can see the ink kind of going on that paper, like it's bleeding onto the paper. And you're adding a little bit of that dark at the very, very bottom. And I'll show you. This one's tricky. I'll do that last. Especially if you feel like you picked up too much. And then this one I'm going to do the outside and the outside, and I'm just going to draw a quick little tiny line right there. Now this is going to be really hard to see, but see how the very bottom has just a little darker, but then it blends that a little bit. So, all right, so there's our flowers. And now we need to do these flowers, because these are the ones we're going to pop up on top. Only 3 of them. You don't need them all. And it is a die. Let me show you the die. I have it right here. I should. You get these 3 extra right here. So we did the leaf, the 3 extra, and then the stem. And then that was that lattice looking piece. Okay, so let's again take our light lemon lime twist, and we're going to just flick the top just a little bit. Okay, and then let's do our, oops, I like to do this end, and just do little circles, little circles. Okay. This just fades out, blends out that color a little bit. And then again, I just come back in and just do a quick little across the bottom. All right, now we're gonna put our card together. So there's our flowers. We are going to, I'm going to pop this up on here because we don't have anything really coming off the edge or any issues with being able to do that. As soon as I find out what I did with my, over there. All right. I'm going to do them side to side a little bit better there. No, that'll work. All right, so right in the center. All right, let's first put our sentiment on. So this, I just kind of went almost just to the edge right here. And I looked at these and made this just straight up and down and straight left and right. So again, we're just going to add a little bit of glue. But this is going to go on this bumpy part, so make sure that you put a decent amount. And I mainly make sure I get those little tips on the edges. So I don't really worry about, I mean, I don't go over everything. All right, so I'm going to do it like this. There we go. Now we'll put our sentiment on. Okay, so this is going to come to the bottom, and that one's up at the top, and I want it down just a little farther. I think this was up higher before, so I'm just going to leave it right there. I think on this card it's higher, but that's okay. Make sure my sentiment's straight. All right, now we are going to glue this on. So let's get your leaf and think about where your leaf is going to go. Okay, I wanted it to come off, but now we also need to glue our stem below the leaf. So let's do that first. And I'm not too worried about the stem at the top. The flowers will hold it down. If you wanted to, you could put, you know, a couple little spots, but those flowers are going to hold it. But down here, you want to put a stream of glue. I'm going to hold it by this one. And I want this to go here. And I'm going to angle the flowers over to kind of fill up this white spot up here. Okay. And now we're going to take our leaf and pop it up here. And I don't think I did. I put dimensionals on it. So let's do that. So we'll put a mini at the bottom. I'm going to cut it in half because I do want it to go all the way down to the bottom. And you don't want it at the top because at the top it's going to hang, let's see, it's going to hang off your top of your card, so we don't need that. All right. And that is good. So I want this to go here, and I want this leaf, this flower to go on top. So that's going to go over the bottom. That's going to go right there. Okay, so just make sure, because you're on that embossed piece, just kind of push down your flowers, make sure they're all on there good. Any extra glue, just take your pokey tool or take your pick tool and poke that off. All right, let's put our dimensionals on our flowers. So when you pull this in, you're going to notice on your flowers that they're a little bit different. So let me show you. We're going to just use minis is all we need. So we're going to put a mini one on here. A mini and a mini. All right, so if you look at your flowers, this one right here they're rounded, and this one has a little fatter on the left. So when I looked at these, they look just a tiny bit different. Although now I don't see a difference because probably my hand's in the way, but this one looks on the left is a little fatter. So we're going to put that right there. And they're going to cover it up anyway. Underneath they're a little bit smaller. And then this other large one we're going to put right here. And this little one we're going to put over here. You can put them wherever you want. But it's really busy down here, and so I thought I wanted to pop those up at the top. All right. All right, so there's that, and now we just need our gems. And so these gems are, oh gosh, you know what? I don't even think I put them below. I think I forgot, so hold on, I'll tell you what they are. I think they're the shimmery ones. Shimmer, shimmering dots. That's what goes with this suite, is the shimmering dots. And they are so pretty. And so I just did the large at the bottom. Find a flat spot in your embossing with your embossing folder. And I'm going to put one there. And then I'm going to do one right there. There you go. That is card number 2. So see, again, we started out with white, and you could really turn that into whatever color you want. But I went with this paper that had a little bit, like you can barely tell that of the Blackberry Bliss on it, but there are other patterns that you could tell a little bit more. So super simple. I think I did the light lemon lime twist here, and I might have done the light granny apple green there. But it's whatever. I mean, it's got all the greens in it, so whatever you want to do. And even though, again, my husband's like, why do you put that back there? You can't even see it. I'm like, yeah, but it adds texture, it adds color. Why wouldn't you? It's fun. So there you go. That's card number 2. All right, let's get ready for some bingo. All right. Bingo, bingo. Good luck, everybody. This is bingo, the second bingo. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Thanks, Lori. Hi, Lisa. All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. First one is number 9. Number 2. Your husband's probably wrong. You only make $10 per hour. Oh no, I think he says 18 cents. I do spend a lot of time in here, but you know what? I love what I do, so I'm very, very lucky. Number 19. Number 20. Number 9. So we went to my grandson's first all-star baseball game yesterday, number 22. And he's only 7, and the season games are way different than All-Stars. All-Stars are more like real baseball. During the season, they've got all these very kind rules. Number 11, like if you overthrow, you can't steal. You know, like all these different things. That has to be sick. You already have a number 9. Oh, thank you. See, my dragonfly's upside down. Number 6, thank you. Thank you, guys. See, that's why you're here. Keep me straight. My dragonflies don't even help, and I just said they did. Number 24. Oh, but it was good. It was a scrimmage game against another town kind of close by, and it was a lot of fun. Boy, I think they're all learning a lot, though. They're all like, oh, this is real baseball now. 21. It was the most exciting game we've seen all year. That's what my husband said. He goes, this is the most exciting game we've seen all year. I go, yep. And number 12. It's so funny to watch my grandson play because he is just like my son. It's like watching my son when he was little. Number 28. All right, we've got BIN with Crystal and Cheryl. Lots of BIs. Marva has a BIN. Number 7. Ooh, Lori has BING. Number 1. Marva now has a B-I-N-G. Number 17. So now I start really slowing down. Wow, Dolores, they sure are. Okay, so now see right now 17 just went down, and I'm just now starting to put the next number, which is number 16. So I'm kind of waiting that way, you know, I don't miss anybody, and they if they see bingo. Teresa has B-I-N-G. Leslie has B-I-N-G. All right. And Dolores would have won again, she said. These are hot numbers for her. Might want to stick with those, Dolores. All right. Next number, 13. Number 13. Don't forget that June's bingo is going to be the 24th. Registration's already open for that. It's listed below. All right, the next number is 5. So why it's so important to make sure your bar is pulled all the way over. If I said this number and you're behind and somebody yelled bingo and you would have had it back here, it's whoever writes it first. Carol has a B-I-N-G. Boy, you guys are getting down here. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Crystal and Cheryl both with the B-I-N-G. And the next number is 26. Sherry's catching up with the B-I-N. The next one in order, here we go, is a 27. Sherry now has B-I-N-G. Cheryl, Crystal, Teresa, Leslie, Marva. Next number is, oh, Teresa. Okay, I'm going to lay this number down until I verify. But Teresa has 7, 21. 21, come on, 21, 21, 24, 27, and 17. Okay, that is a good bingo, Teresa. Congratulations. Glad you decided to play number 2. All right. I don't see anybody else. So close. We still have 2 more, though. So Teresa won bingo number 2. Congratulations. All right. I'm not even going to tell you what the next number would have been because that would maybe make you cry. So we'll just put it back in here. All right. Congratulations. All right. So don't forget, make sure you get your bingos to me by the 30th because I leave town on the 31st for my trip. And I want to get your order in. So the earlier, the better. And remember, I cannot order sneak preview, online exclusive, pre-order stuff. Okay. Only numbers in your container have to be mine. All right, next one, Marilyn. We're going to fingers crossed. All right, so this next one I thought was fun and cheerful. I love the paper, and it's a hip, hip, hooray birthday. The one thing I did decide after I did this card and is I might have wanted to add another balloon. So if you have the set, you might want to add another one. I still think it looks like 3 elements, which is kind of a rule of thumb. So I think it's okay. I did put a third one on later, and then I thought it looked really busy. So it's up to you guys how you want to do it. But I thought it was super cute with just the 2, and it just kind of looks like 3 elements there. So that's what I went with. So let's start this card. Super cute. This is Coastal Cabana. And I love the polka dot paper. It comes from this set, Extraordinary Extraordinary Life, I think it is. So let's start with the inside. I did do, oops, I forgot I did do Happy Birthday on the inside, so I might as well stamp it, right? Get that out. I did the outside, forgot the inside. All right, so let's start with the inside. We're going to move all of this. Don't forget your gems. Just slide everything off. And let's start with the inside. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to stamp, because if I goof it up, I can grab another piece of paper. A vellum balloon. Lori, that's a great idea. That would be really pretty. You know what would be really cute is to do like a little pocket balloon of vellum and maybe put shaker or something inside. Sure sounds easy, but I know it's not because adhesive shows through the shaker, but that would be super cute. All right, so we're going to put Happy Birthday right there. Yay. All right. So we're going to add, where's my, here it is. We need to add our adhesive. What is top on your list if you're a demonstrator, or if you're not and you've seen the sneak peek items already? What is on the top of your list for the July online exclusives? What can't you wait to get? I always like to ask, because a lot of times Stampin' Up and us as demonstrators are like, what is going to be the hot item? What do you do a class with? What do you do, what do you want to make sure you get so that you can show and do videos with? And what do you want to hurry up and get before it sells out? Or what, make sure you get it. So I'd love to hear what you guys are interested in getting. Okay, same thing. Add a little paper. I just love these colors. They're so pretty. The Halloween Suite. Yep, that is a good one. I'm not a super duper Halloween person, but boy, is that one cute. I cannot wait to open my box, you guys. For those that came in late, my pre-order is sitting behind me. My box, you can see it on the video. It came, in fact, my husband was carrying it in here. I was outside when the UPS guy, I heard him drive up, and I told my husband, get my box. And he brought it in here. I forgot it's only one box because everything's so little now in the new packaging. And he walked it in here as my screen said, they're waiting for you. Because my screen will say, waiting for, like the time has come and gone and now they're waiting for you. And so I was like, hurry up. Like, I don't know why I felt like it had to be in here next to me when it showed up. Because what am I going to do? But I was like, get it in my room. All right, so there's our inside. Love these bright colors. Let's see, the Halloween set. The violet. Oh, yeah, the violet suite is, oh, I can't wait. It's in my box. The bat embellishments and the summer washi tape. Oh, the summer washi tape set is going to be so cute. I'm going to do a scrapbook page with my granddaughter with that. The DSP with faces. I love the Halloween, but that one cat is crazy. Look. Oh, he's a scaredy cat. He's a scaredy cat, I think, which is why he looks all crazy. All right, so let's go. The daisy set is kind of flat. Again, for video, you know me. We're going to add some seal that's about to run out. And we're going to add some glue also, just so we can Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. We're going to put our... Notice I didn't go to the very edges of that, okay? So I'm going to... Oh, I didn't go to the very edge of that one. So we're going to put this on. And I'm just going to lightly lay it so we can deal with the bottoms. We're going to add this on. So this is going to tuck under, okay? Oh, I probably should have done this first. Let me do that first. We're going to lay this down here. And I'm going to put it, I can see my lines through my mat. So I'm going to lay this right on the line, right there. And then we're just going to do it this way. And I am going to leave a little bit of white on there. Right there. Okay, so I have seal right here, which also helps. So I'm going to do that. And then I guess what I would do is I would suggest, I'm going to set that aside even though it has glue on it. I am going to put adhesive on this and lay it down first, and then we'll do the embossing one because it does kind of tuck under. And it does tuck under if you do your, you know, don't push down your seal, just kind of set it there. But yeah, we'll do it first. And I always overlap my papers, okay? I make them a little bit long. That way you can adjust everything, and that way you can, you know, kind of figure out how much space you have. So we're going to do this right here, and I'm going to go down like that 1/8 of an inch that I do. And then you're going to see I'm going to take this one. We are going to add our adhesive here that I covered. And now I'm going to look at the top. I'm not worried about the bottom, okay, because I've already, I have extra cardstock, plus now we have the lace on here too, our border. These border dies are awesome. Okay, so now I'm doing that right there. Cheryl, I hope you have these border dies. Because I'm going to just tell you right now, is you're getting the stamp set in as your gift, your team gift that's on the way to you. That's, oh, did I already send it? No, I think it's in it's in with your bingo stuff, I think. But these are the dies. And so this is the one I used. But I had a stamp set because I always get extra dies and I bought the bundle. Usually I don't. Usually I just buy the stamp set. But that's this one that we used. Okay. And so this is a great set. The stamp set's really awesome. All right. So there's that. Now, so I love the borders. Love, love, love. Oh, and did you guys see the borders? The new ones coming? I love it. So, all right. So let's do our stamping. We are going to, let's go ahead and add this. Nothing's being tied around it or anything. So we are going to... Yeah, it's a cute set. I love the little stamp of the butterflies. And then you die cut the little butterflies out. They're so cute. So make sure you have those, get those dies if you don't have them. All right, there we go. So there's our outside. So we'll set that aside. Let's do our stamping. We need Hip Hip Hooray. And I need my black. And then, so what we did with this is, okay, so let's do this first. Oops, it's going to go, yeah, it's going to go that way. I'm looking at the hip hip, but I'm also looking at the Y because I want to make sure it lands on the paper and not off the paper. Okay, so that Y is right down there, but the hip hip is what looks straight when you're trying to put those together. All right. Okay, now what I did is with the same border set is I took this, okay, the same one, the edge here, and we used this border here with the scallop, all right, and we added it to the we cut it on the bottom here, and now the sides are the same. We're going to cut this in half. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be straight. We are going to take this and add seal on the bottom, and seal on the top. I want to get on the edge. Make sure your adhesive is on the back, not on your pretty project. We're going to add this right here, and however far down you want it to be. I'm going to do it right there. And then when you're using your scallop, just make sure your edges are, it's lined up where you want it so that the edges are the same. We probably can't order any of the new stuff with our winnings because it is pre-ordered. That is correct, Dolores, because all of my pre-order stuff, I max it out and it's in my box right here. And I can't order it and send it to somebody else anyway. So that is correct. All right, so that's going to go here. And then I'm going to hold it at the bottom so I can put it right up and get, what you want to do is you want to make sure your sides are straight and then that your arch is about the, close to the same. All right, so there's that. Okay. All right, so let's bring this in. We are going to put dimensionals on our balloons. And this is from the same paper, this really pretty polka dot. And I'm going to put my dimensionals on. And this one, I'm going to put 2 also. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to add, okay, so I'm going to do my balloons first because then we can put that in. We can set this here for, our idea of where we want that to go. I think I'm going to move it up a little bit because I really want to see all my pretty border. Totally up to you. This one I have down farther, but I'm going to move that up. So let's see if that'll work. We're going to put one balloon here and another balloon over here. And I think that kind of helps with the idea of only having 2 balloons too. See, what's what happens is I look and then I go, I should have probably done 3. All right, so there's that. And they're lightly put on there. This can even come down a little bit if I needed it to. And I may move it back down. I don't know. As long as I have some yellow up here showing, I feel okay with that. I just don't like the stuff to be to the edge. All right, so now we're going to do our string. So we are going to do 1 string from here down to like right there. So we'll cut that one. And then we're going to cut this one from here to about there also. Just give it a little bit of room. You don't want them super tight. All right, so there's that one. And so I'm going to take a glue dot. Now this is how I did it. I could have put them on ahead of time, which I still can because they're not, on there. And we're going to do a glue dot, and I'm going to put it right in between the little scallops so that I can add that's longer. I want the shorter one. I'm going to add this right here. And then if you wanted to, you could even add a little dimensional on top of that. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I'm just going to stick that right onto my glue dot, squish it in there. And then I'll take this one, same thing, add a glue dot here on the bottom. And I'm doing it at the base of the balloon, not on this little thing right here because it's really not big enough. I just did it on the base. And we'll do that here. Make that go there. All right, now that's going to go here. This is going to go here. All right, we're going to bring those together and just leave them right there for now. Turn that a little bit. Now you're going to take this and you're going to tie 3 little bows. So make them bigger. You can always make them smaller. Okay, so make it pretty good size. You need 3. You're going to be fine. So do that, go around and do that. And then I try to hold the bottom so that you have something to work with down here, and then pull the bow. And these are just nothing fancy. It is just a little bow. Okay, so there's one. Okay, so there's one. We're going to add it right here at the very bottom of your balloon, like it's part of that little balloon. All right, we're going to do one more. Well, we're going to do two more. One. Except that when they're little, I'm like, I had no trouble doing it before. There we go. It's only when you're on screen, you know, when it all goes array of dots goes awry. All right, there we go. Your little bow, and then cut that right there. Little bow again. All right, and now I'm going to bring those. Now I want to put my sentiment on, because I want to make sure that I have my spacings good. I'm going to put that right there just to hold that. You don't really have to do both edges. I think I'm going to have to bring it down, but maybe I'll bring it back over a little bit so I can see this right here too, like I did on that one. I think it was too high over there, which now remember I didn't push these down yet. Now I'm going to bring that one over here a little bit. Yeah, that's better. All right, so now we have our things there, and now we need one more bow. One more bow. Wow. I really didn't mean to give you like the exact amount, but you know how when you think, oh yeah, they need 10 inches, I'll do 12. And then, you know. All right, so there we go. And then, I made these a little bit long, but that's okay. So we are going to take a glue dot. How I did it is I put a glue dot right here so that you're, you know, just kind of make them loose. Get them where you want them. That's good. Squish your glue dot together. Make sure your strings stay together. I do one a little shorter, one a little longer. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you want. And then we're going to add, I did another glue dot. And just kind of rolled it and put it on top. That way, number one, your two strings aren't going anywhere. And now you've got your other little bow to go right on top. And if you want to add glue, you can. But that stays pretty good. All right, so there's that bow. So you have your bows, and now you just need your gems. And I did a large one right here. I did a medium one up here. Again, I find a flat spot. You could put it in the middle of the flower, but it's kind of raised, and I would be afraid it's not going to stick well enough. And then I'm just going to find another flat spot, and there you go. The book Bow for Dummies. Marilyn, go watch my bow video and just keep doing it over. That's how I had to do it, because When I was trying to do it, I was like, I am never going to get these bows. And I did. And it's funny because my mom used to do it hands down, no problem. And then I saw somebody else start doing them. So I started trying again as an adult. And it's a lot of practice. Okay, I have to get the, okay, I love the color. Yeah, I do too. I love this paper. Will I be doing a class with the Violet Dreams? Probably. That is my goal to do it. It's going to be hard because I'm leaving this weekend and then I'm leaving again next weekend. And then I get back and then like a month later I'm gone again. So it's going to be hard. We're doing a lot of traveling this summer. So there we go. Card number 3. Super fun, nice, cheerful. I think it'd be great for kids. Really cute card. But yeah, I would suggest adding a third one. After I saw that, I realized it. All right. Oh, I can't wait for the next project, you guys. So excited. But let's get a bingo winner first. This is bingo number 3, everybody. And thank you guys so much for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. It does help my channel a lot. Especially when you're going to be gone, you know, and I'm going to be gone. It is what it is. I'm spending time with my family and we're taking the kids and grandkids on vacation. So I'm super excited about that. You know, once they start getting older, we're not going to be able to get them all together anymore. It's hard enough getting our kids together. All right, number 27. Good luck, everybody. Yeah, we kind of, my husband was like, should we wait one more year for the little ones? And we're like, the little ones can always go again later. If we decide to go someplace and the older ones can't go, I mean, it is what it is because they're all in sports and cheer and, you know, all that stuff. Especially, you know, all-stars and select baseball and all that. I get it because I was a sports parent. And my husband's like, well, they don't have to go do that. I go, no, they do. It is what it is. Number 23. And so it's just easier. I said, let's just do it now. They can all go now. And then we'll worry about later as it comes. Number 21. All right, we got some bees going already. Number 4. This was that other number that was coming out that was our next number. I'll tell you now because it's gone by. Number 2. For those of you that asked, my Silly Old Bear class has sold out, but there is still the PDF and video link. It is for 7 projects. 3 of them are fancy folds. There's a gift card holder and then regular 3 other cards. So that's available. And I do have flat rate boxes for any order over $100. That's before shipping and tax. And you, if you use your Stampin' Rewards, of course, that is kind of considered like shipping and tax. It's got to be the CSV number. And you'll get one for free, a medium flat rate box. Number 28 is full of goodies. You can also just go and order a box for $60, and it's full of stuff. Number 6. All right, we've got Cheryl and Carol, both of the B-I-N. Lots of B-I's and B's. Number 7. Lisa with a B-I-N. some of our grandkids know we're going on a trip and some of them do not yet. 26. So it'll be fun. Number 13. I'm going to Riverton in June, which will be fun, where Stampin' Up is. I'll get to see the office, the home office. I haven't been there in years. At least 13, 14 years maybe. So I'm excited to see what it looks like now. Number 16. I know their operations are a little bit different now. I think the waterfall in the lobby is gone. So it'll be interesting to go see. So I'm kind of excited. Yay, Marilyn has a number. Number 18. Sherry has a BIN now. Barb has a BIN. Barb, I'm going to be messaging to you too so we can hook up on my vacation, and Deb also. You guys are on 2 different islands, but I will see you. I hope. Number 1. Exactly, Judy. That is exactly right. Ooh, Lori has a BIN now. Number 8. Looking at my 6 and my 9, we're good. That's the thing, is once they get into sports and activities, it's just too hard. Number 11. And I get it. My daughter cheers, and she's going into junior high. My granddaughter. My daughter did too, but my granddaughter, and she's going into junior high, and my grandsons, and with all stars with baseball. Ooh, Carol, BING. Good for you. 17. All right. Ooh, Carol has a bingo. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. 4, 8, 9, 11, and 28. Congratulations, Carol. Yay! All right. Number 3 for Carol. I don't see any others. So, Carol, congratulations. Yay, yay. Deb, make sure you pull your bar all the way over, because you just typed in BING and we're already done. So I just wanted you to make sure you catch up with us. All right. Congratulations. All right, you guys. Okay, project number 4 is so much fun. And guess what? There is no stamping. None. No stamping. All right. Project number 4. This is a great gift item. What I'm going to do is suggest you write down your measurements, take your project, and it'll be easy to figure out. But I'll do a blog post on this probably, because I know this is going to be, I don't know. I got to figure it out how I'm going to do it. But this, we use that Hobby Haven paper. You've got magnets in here, so I'm trying to put my they're very strong magnets. I suggest you leave them in the bag. Okay? Leave them in the bag and set them aside. They will break. Okay? So if you get them apart and they snap back together, they will break. So be very, very careful about that. Okay? All right. So what we're going to do is, the first thing I want you to do is bring out your letters, and we are going to color them. Where is my, oh, it's right here. I'm using dark gray granite. So, where did mine? Here it is. All right, so I'm going to use dark gray granite, and we are going to color our letters. So we have R, E, C. We're using gray now, so I'm not too concerned about these colors. I, P, E, S. We are going to make a recipe box. I always look at the S like, okay, that way looks funky. Okay, see how this side looks, this looks bigger on the top? Okay, and then, oh, I will, Gloria. And then, so when you do it, we're going to turn it like that. Okay, so the smaller parts on the top. So do that. Yes, Gloria, gee, that's a good idea. So here it is. When I went to my retreat, this is one of the projects that we did that my upline did in her class. So my gift to you guys is, oh, I can't show you. I've got recipes in here, and some of them are top secret recipes. So you guys are going to have some recipe cards, and these are on Amazon, so I will link them below after if you want to get more. But look how cute they match. And so here are some recipe cards for you guys, and we're going to make this recipe box. Okay, and so your magnet will stay. What I'm doing with this is I am putting my recipes in it that I've gotten from my retreat. So when we go, we all cook. Every day we make groups of women. So like a group of 5 or 6 or whatever is in a group, and they all make a dinner, that whole day they cook. So they make lunch and dinner. Breakfast is usually something quick and simple, or leftovers, or sometimes people have breakfast casseroles ready, or, it's a kind of a grab what you want and eat it. So, but there's a lot of good recipes. So that's what I'm keeping in this particular box. So we're going to take your letters, and we are going to color them. Now you could use cardstock and cut them out in the color you want. But again, I like to just do a lot in white. And I figured with this alphabet set, which I forgot to add on the supply list below, so I will add it. You do the whole alphabet at one time. So here we are picking out all the letters, and I'm going to have a bunch of leftovers, and I didn't want a bunch of gray letters. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to do it in white. That way I have all the other ones left over, and I can use them for other projects, like my granddaughter's scrapbook that we're going to do. She's chomping at the bit to do her Disney World one. So I figure next time I go up, that's what we're going to do. So I need to collect some Disney World stuff. I didn't think about it when we were there, of course. Let's see. So I'm just going to color these. Now I have a bunch of white, and I keep them in, those embroidery boxes that have little dividers, and you can put your colors in certain things. That's what I have them in. I'll show them to you. Because I also put the letters on them so that I can put them in the right section, and I divided those up last night and put them in where they belong. All right, so there we go. Easy peasy. Let me show you what I use, because it's really a great project. As I'm climbing up, hopefully if you hear a thug, somebody call my husband. All right, so this is what I do, is I took a dark one. It was Pretty Peacock, apparently, and I cut it out. And then now I put all my letters. There's a P, a blue P. So I must have done it in blue at one time. Oops. But I thought, how smart is this? I could just put my letters in here and then pick out what I want. Okay, so that way I can use them for ongoing projects and have the letters I want. Obviously, the C, the E, the P, all the recipe ones are pretty much hardly any in there. But it's a great idea to have those, and then you have your letters. All right, so let's put those aside. Oh, I think I want to do my R just a little darker. I think I went over that pretty quick. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right, so let's move our letters aside. All right. And so I asked Sherry, we got this, like I said, oh, here's your recipe cards are in there. So I asked her, I said, can I do a video on this? And she said, sure. So here we go. I think the first thing I'm going to suggest is let's layer up our paper. Okay. So let's move our DSP. We're going to move all of our white over. All right, so let's do our DSP. So we're going to have a front and a back. Let's start with, let me move this up a little bit here. Up. Okay, now you can see my messy desk. It's all right. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to look at the front and the back. So we're going to do our two largest ones first. All right, so, oh, this is, I found my missing piece. So I tried to do different ones, like these are exactly the same. So I tried to mix them up. So hopefully you guys have, you know, different ones. So these are going to go here like this. So just lay it all out. That's what I did, is lay them all out. All right. Now we're going to use the lid. Okay. So this is the lid of your box. Go ahead and score it. Might as well. You're right here. All right. So now you're going to notice the rounded side is the front. Okay. So I rounded it for you. That's going to be the front. So, and then this is going to be the top. Okay. So look for your rounded corners. All right. So you're going to notice one is upside down and one is correct. So this is going to go here. This is going to go here. All right. So there's that. Now find your two rounded cornered green pieces. Okay. So you're going to put one right here. Okay. And you're going to put one here. Okay. So just like that. All right. Now, let's put your images to the side. So we have an apron, the coffee cup, the espresso machine, and a book. So let's put all those over with the label and move those out of the way. I know this doesn't this remind you of something like, you know, your mom or your grandma used to have, or we used to have when we were young, but it was obviously not mine. It's just, I love the colors and everything about it. Okay. Now we're going to take the two longer pieces, and this one looks like this one. So I'm going to set that one aside. Like I said, I tried really hard to give you guys something a little bit different. Okay. So this one I'm going to put here. This one I'm going to put on the inside. So I'm just going to put it like this. It's going to go on the inside cover. So it's going to be this right here. Okay. So there's that. All right. So we've got that. Now we've got our sides right here. Okay. So here's our sides. All right. And the sides are going to be like that. We need our base. And we need our two sides. Okay? So we have everything together. And now what I like to do is I'm going to move the top part and the sides away. And we're going to start with these right here and think about what do you want on the front. So if we look at this top one right here and we look at this one, they look the same. So do you want this one on the front to kind of just make it change, look it up? Or you can look at this one and say, okay, this is going to be, obviously this is on the inside because it's upside down, so you can't use that one here. Okay, so I'm going to do this one on the front, that one on the back, so that it looks a little bit different. Okay, but totally up to you. All right, so now I'm going to move those aside, and we are going to burnish our box. So fold it. Again, you're going to look at it. It's 12 by 12 paper. Okay, so lay it down, figure out your measurements, and then lay it down here and get it all burnished. Okay, it's super easy. Okay, that one's already burnished because I put it in your package like that. Okay, that one. All right, so there's this one. And then we're going to do the lid. All right, so your lid, let's go ahead and add our pieces. So it's up to you how you like to do it. I'm going to add our pieces. I like to do it while it's still open and not while it's a box. So I'm just going to put this on here. This is the one we're looking at. That's going to be the front. So let's go ahead and put that on. I didn't mind doing the seal on the paper, but the box itself, I use liquid because I want it to definitely stay nice and strong. All right, so there we go. So isn't this a cute gift idea, like for your daughters or daughter-in-laws or whatever, or friend, or maybe you do a recipe exchange during the holidays? This paper is still available. It was on, well, the last time I looked, it's on last chance. So, just saying. All right, I'm going to look at this. It's 1/8 of an inch. Get it on there. That's good. Now, remember, your box is like this, right? The flap is on the back because that's how your lid attaches. Okay, so now you're going to turn it over when you put this piece on. All right, so you want to turn it over. And this backside would be a great green for Christmas. And there's some great papers in this set. But when I saw her do this, I was like, oh my gosh, what a great idea. And she went online and found the recipe cards, and they matched so great. All right, so again, now this is going to go this way. Lay that flap down. I'm going to start it at the top. To my 1/8 of an inch. Now, I believe I still have a few of these kits still available. Not many. I know Bingo's out. There's only one left, but you still have a chance to get a kit if you want. Because today, or when I was printing out my list, I had 2 people on the list twice. And they paid twice, so that opened it up to where I had 2 left. Now I had 4. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to do the lid. All right, so I'm going to do it just like this. I'm going to drop what's underneath because that's going to go under, and I want this to go on the top. So just be really careful. Remember, look twice before you glue stuff because it might be upside down. That's why I like doing a piece at a time. All right, so this one is going to go on here. And I'm going to look at the top because it's nice and squared right there. And if that works, the bottom, everything else should work fine. Okay. So that's going to go there. And this one. So now I know that the two that I put together are going to be on the outside of the flap, the front and the top. I'm not going to put the inside ones together yet because I don't want to accidentally get my projects mixed up. All right. Oh, card recipes. That's a great idea. Especially if you do like a swap. And, you know, that would be kind of fun is to start doing recipe cards. All right. All right, so now we can put this on our card base. I mean, on our box base, I should say. And you notice I try to go pretty close to the edges on this because I don't want it lifting. This is going to be handled. All right, let's put this on. Right there. Remember the corners. So the violets and the Halloween is what everybody's looking towards right now. I am excited. You know what's going to happen because I'm leaving Friday is I'm going to have to pull it all out. And then I'm probably going to stamp something and take it so I can color or at least do something while I'm gone with the new stuff. All right, so this one is upside down. Make sure you do your rounded corners with rounded corners. All right, and then do this one. All right, we've got the front. Now we're going to do this side. So think about it when you open it up. Well, the rounded part's easy enough. It's going to go here. So let's do that first. I don't know that I'm going to have time for the blog post. And you notice, you guys, I haven't blog posted in a while because I do everything on YouTube. And I try to give the measurements on here, but on Bingo, I don't always do it. But I'm going to give you guys the main box measurements. And I probably won't get that posted for a while. So I will tell you, the body is 6 by 12. You're going to score it at 4 3/4, 6 1/2, and 11 1/4. Okay, so 4 3/4, 6 1/2, and 11 1/4. The top flap is 6 by 3 3/4. You score it at 1 3/4, and you round off the edges. And the sides are 5 1/4 by 2 3/4, and you score them at 1/2 and 2 1/4. Okay, and then you're going to wedge the edges. You only want one flap, and the other's flat. And then I'll show you how to put those together. And then everything is 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so this is the inside. But I will get it posted. I just don't think I'm going to get it by this weekend. In fact, I know I won't get it by this weekend. All right, so there's this. Now, let's do our lid, which is going to go right here. So I use glue. And we're going to do glue all the way down the edges. Lightly, but at least I have the glue there. Okay. And then I'll fill it in. All right, so you just go right up to that seam. Whoops, careful when you rub it that you're not sliding it. You want those edges to go flush. And then what I do is I pick it up and fold it and just make sure that it's got a nice edge. Oh, I was like, what is that noise? It's my neighbor rolling his trash can around in his backyard. I don't know what he's doing. All right, so there's that, but I'm noticing I have some glue right here, so I'm going to right under my DSP. I didn't get that all the way under. There we go. Much better. All right. So there we go. Oh, you guys, guess what I did? I forgot the magnets. So, well, we'll do that in a minute because our paper has adhesive on it, so we'll do that in a second. It's not glue, so we're good. All right, so let's do this. But I can't believe I forgot I forgot the magnets when I made my original one too. All right, so let's put this on and do our sides. I know you guys will have to go back and get the measurements. I know I said them quickly, but I will be doing a post on it. All right, again, put your measurements on there. Okay, there's that one. Okay, there's that. And now we'll put those on. So everything should match up. The only thing you want to do is really look at your print, you know, decide how you want it. Okay, now we have these white sides. All right, make sure we burnish them. Sometimes it's easier to do it when you burnish it first. I don't mind doing it after because I can see the lines and I want to get my image on. But sometimes it's easier to do it like that so you can see your sides and you know where it's at, but it's up to you. All right, and then the bottom one. So like this one we'll do first. I'll show you. That's what I'm talking about. So if you have them folded, then you can kind of see your white outline. Okay, so if you have it like that, well, we're trying a new recipe. There was a recipe online, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And now see, I have it up. But I'm going to carefully, so I can see the edges, kind of drop it there. The problem is it's kind of shaky because it's just up in the air. But you can kind of drop it and see that it's there and then, you know, lay it out. But it's whatever your preference is. All right, and then on your box, you're going to want to put this, I like to fold it like this and go right up to the edge. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to put my glue right there. And I go to the edge, but I try not to make it like super wet because you don't want it to, ooze out all over. So this is what I do is I put it like this, then I lay this like this because I don't want to start it folded because it'll get all over. I start it like this so it's edge to edge, and then I fold it in because it will slide around like it just did. I'm going to take that off just in case. I don't need my recipe sticking. Then I fold it over, but see, yeah, I'm going to have to go out farther. Right there. Okay, so now I know that that's where it's at. So now I can get any extra glue off. Right there. Okay, so that's good. And now I'm going to do the same with this one, but I'm turning it because I'm right-handed, but remember now your tab is the same over here. And so we're going to put it here and put it down. So we want to glue this side now. So notice I go fairly thin around the edges, but close. I don't want it too much to ooze, but I do want those edges to stick. And then I do a little more in the middle. That way, if it does squish out a little bit, it doesn't go all the way out. The other thing is you can wait a little bit too and wait for it to start to get a little tacky and then adhere it, and that might help too. All right, so I like to lay it open like I did. Here and here, and then fold it, and then see right here I need to move it out a little farther, get it right to that edge where it's folding. Okay, that way you know you've got that nice straight edge right there on both sides. Okay, so this one I'm gonna, okay. Now, before I go farther, at this point, I want to put my magnets in because silly moi forgot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magnet, and these are really strong magnets, okay? So take your magnet. I'm going to lay my other one back on this paper because this is magnet and it's going to stick. And I want it to not stick to the magnet. You have to slide them over. It's going to be a lot easier to have two that slide than it is trying to get two off. Because when I was just trying to get two off, because they come well, they come in this right here. They come in a little package like this, but how they're all together like that, except I used all those, but they so they're all stuck together. So to slide them off, I've broken a few. All right, so because I'm a bad person and I forgot, I am going to measure this. So I want to do in the middle, this is 5 3/4. Where's my pencil? So 6 would be 3 right here. Where am I? 6 would be 3, but it's 3/4, so it's going to be 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to be right about right here is where I want it. Now I got to decide up and down how far I want it. So let's see how this closes. Okay, so I have the magnet. I can't even feel it. Oh, wait a minute. I have it right here. So You want it on the lid here, but when you look at the bottom one, you want to make sure it's up far enough so that it goes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a glue dot. Okay, put it on a glue dot. And then what I'm going to do is take my other pokey tool, here it is, and I'm going to slide under both of these. And I'm going to go back and forth to where that dot is. And I'm going to put glue because it will work. It will hold it in there. Okay. And I'm going to slide it because I was a goof and didn't do it ahead of time. See, this is why I don't mail your kits till tomorrow, so you can see what I did wrong and fix it yourself. Oh, the glue dot came off, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to move it over. It doesn't really matter as long as it's in there. Okay, so it's right here. If it's a little over to the left, a little over to the right, you're going to see it's going to be fine. All right, so I am going to stick more glue right here and close that. I'm going to move the magnet back a little bit. I should have done this ahead of time. That's okay. My bad. So make sure you do your magnet ahead of time. All right, we'll clean up that extra glue here in a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to push and make sure that that stays and that paper stays with that magnet in there. All right, so there's that. Now we can go ahead and I want to glue these before I put the magnet on this side. That way I know it's going to be perfect. So leave your magnet to the side. All right, now we're going to glue both of these all up. Okay, so I'm going to do this side first. All right, there's that. I'm going to do the bottom too, because the bottom's going to be on the inside. Okay, so there's that one. And now I'm going to do this one. And the bottom. All right. I'm more worried about the sides than the bottom. We can fix the bottom once, you know, we lift it up. But we're going to bring it up to the bottom and the sides and then let it fall. And you can feel, you want to push the bottom at this point though. Okay, so push it up and on the edge. And then make sure you push it up and it's on the edge. So you want your bottom, you don't want this to be down farther. You want to make sure you have it all the way up and pulled up snug. And there. So now you can open it like this. Put your bone folder and push those bottoms down. Okay, so now the glue is starting to touch. Make sure your edges are good. Make sure you don't have a hole right here. Same with this one. This one I can pull up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now do the edges again. I'm going to lay it down. Do the sides. All right, so there is our box. So that part is done. Now let's do our magnet. So we're going to take our magnet and we're going to add it there. So we know for sure which side the positive and negative side is. Okay, and then you're going to close it so you can see where that needs to go. Okay, so I need it to go right here is where I need that other magnet to go. This magnet. Okay. So what you could do is I'm going to take a little glue dot. Oops, my other card's just tumbled. I'm going to take a little glue dot. Now this is obviously the way you're going to do it if you forget to put your magnets in, but because you're watching this ahead of time, you won't forget. Okay, I'm going to take the tackiness off of this little glue dot. Okay. And I'm going to put it on the magnet. And I am going to close this nicely. I forgot how strong the magnet is, so it may not stick the glue dot either. Let me see. No, it won't, but I can see it is right on the edge of this right here. Okay, so that's good. All right, so I'm going to take this magnet. Now again, you're going to have to slide it off. Oh, it's much easier on the paper. And now we're going to have to do this here. Do our little surgery because Marcie forgot. I need something flatter. Okay. So remember, when I added this on, I just have adhesive around. So now I have to figure out which way again. So it's going to be the glue dot down. Okay, so it's good to put a glue dot on, a little glue dot. And now I'm going to get a big glue dot and put it on the other side. All right, big glue dot up. And we are going to follow the ruler in. Don't you love this surgery that, because I made a boo-boo? All right, we're going to follow this in. And it's nice to have the metal because then it's not going to stick until I want it to. We're going to open that up. Slide this in. It's right. Okay, let's see. Yay! All right, so I'm going to push that down where it's at. So using a metal or something that that your glue dot's not going to stick to. And now I'm going to put glue right here so that that stays, and your glue dot is going to keep that right there. All right, there we go. So there that is. Now we're going to take our fun part. I'm just going to use glue. This is just to kind of coordinate your colors. This is beautifully celebrated, I believe. And put that there. We're going to take the espresso and just put that on top. So we're going to use dimensionals. I'm going to put little one. I'm going to put a big one because it is on the front of the flap that you're going to open and close a lot. I'm going to put little ones right here on the side so that it's nice and secure on here. We'll put it right there. Okay, that's there. Now this is going to be glued halfway. So just go just above halfway is what I do. I mean, the middle of that would be halfway, but I'm going to go right above. Okay, that way you get a little bit of squish room. And we are going to go to, remember it's 3, it's just under 3 for the middle, so right about there. You can eyeball it. Okay, so right about there. Add our glue. Dolores, I would have put the magnets on before I put the DSP on. Because you can test it and done it. So you could do all your DSP and put it together, but not this piece and not this piece is what I should have done. And I just didn't even think about that. Totally forgot. Okay, so that is good right there. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to add our word. Let's move these over. R-E-C-I-P-E. Uh-oh. Where did my S go? I know I did an S. Oh, here it is. All right. So I is the middle of the word. So we're going to put the I right there. And it is close. So I could have pulled this down a little bit more, which I will. So just, okay, so pull that down a little bit more. And then get your I. Oh, what did I just do with it? R-E-C. Okay, I had the I and I saw it fly. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's take our I. Now, if you want to do adhesive letters, that's fine too. Whatever works for you. I'm going to take the I and put it right at the top. And this probably could have come down a little farther, but that's okay. I'm going to do it right there. Okay, and now do the C. And you obviously you can color these in any color you want if you want them brighter to see it more. I like the paper being the main focus. All right, let's do this. Oops. Laying them out is probably not a bad idea. R-E. Now I did these with gray granite, which I kind of like because it's got more of a brown gray color to it, which kind of goes with the paper. R-E-C. I'm going to angle that a little more. R-E-C. I want to see how angled I want it. I think I want these closer. Oops. And S. Okay, so see how I brought them in a little closer. I like that better. All right, so I have the I and the C. So I'm going to do the P. And the E. I can always stick them down a little bit more later. I just want to get them in place. I feel like I'm doing surgery right now. Right, Lisa? It's because I'm doing surgery. All right, so make sure your S is right. You want the fat part on the bottom. Remember, it's easier to put your tweezers on first on the sides that you're going to be needing to use, and then flip it over and add your glue. All right, like this. So I'm going to add it, and I don't add it at the round, like I'll put it down here because I want glue to go to that round part. And so I'll put it all the way on, and then turn it over, and it's good to go. I'm going to angle this a little bit more, kind of like the S's. Okay, now I'm going to tack them down. These all worked well. My C got a little out of whack here, so I'm going to have to come back and clean my I and my C up a little bit. But I like to just try to get as much of that extra glue off before it completely dries, because it comes off pretty good. All right, so there is our recipes. Oops. All right, so that looks pretty darn good. Now you can open it, lay it down. Well, you got to hold it up and lay it down. And then just make sure everything is pushed where you want it. Okay, now we're going to take our book and put dimensionals. I'm going to do minis. I'm going to do one in every corner. Oops, this one's a little wonky. I don't want that tip showing. And this one. And then we're going to put that right here. Then we're going to take our coffee cup and we're going to put it right there. So we're going to put one over here, one over here, and one on the bottom, maybe not all the way to the corner. And then I'm going to also add some glue on that corner there. So if you flip it towards you, the bottom left right there, you want glue. The rest, put your dimensionals. And then we're just going to put our coffee cup by our book. So either you're having coffee reading your book or you're about to use that cookbook. But don't forget to put your apron on. So let's get our apron. I did not add gems to this because I really didn't think we needed gems. We've got our embellishments. The paper's busy enough. Super, super cute. So again, Sherry is the one that came up with this idea. which was fabulous. There we go. Super simple. Got your magnet. It closes nicely. And then don't forget, we've got our recipe cards that fit great in here. So I will post that below for you. I didn't want to spoil your surprise on your last project by posting that on there. But there you go. So this is mine. Isn't that cute? Now this paper also has a ton of different elements on here, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have to use different elements. Like there's another coffee cup, there's another, there's a kettle, but if you're a sewer, there's pages of paper. Let me see if I could grab one right here, because I know I have a ton of this paper. Where might it be? I had this paper, ton of it, stacked. Oh, here it is. Hopefully it's still available. I think this one might be mostly new. I think I took embellishments out. But so here's the paper that we used. But look how cute this is. I hope it's still available. You've got chairs with plants. And this is the back. You've got books. So if you have the on display set, a great thing to look at the sewing. You can make it sewing patterns or, you know, recipes type box. And look how pretty that is on the back. And then you've got bathroom stuff. You've got a brush and an eye mask and, you know, perfumes and roller. I mean, there's so many cute things to this paper. And look at all of this in the back. You've got all of these little punch outs here. 2 sheets of different things. I know it's upside down, sorry. On the back. So it's a really cute DSP that's leaving. And hopefully it's still there. This is called Hobby Haven. Hobby Haven. Let me give you the number. It is 167201. 167201. So I decided, you know what? I know this project is going to take a ton of paper, but I thought it was such a great idea because there's so many things you can do with it that I decided that I was going to get the paper and do these boxes for you guys, because I had to have 2 packs, 1 pack for every 2 boxes, so that you guys could get all the, you know, right embellishments and stuff. So, but see, now this is the paper. You could see it a lot better. Now I'm thinking we should have done that. So I would use black. Use black on your, or the light black. Let me see what this looks like. I know we have one more bingo to go. Let me just try this real quick so I can tell you which one to use. Let me find scratch paper. So that is the light black. So I would probably use a darker one than this, because that didn't, I mean, you can't really see it like you can on this one. Or just, you know, you could use regular paper, but I would use a darker. Now that I see this against this one, I would use a darker one. Or you could use a darker brown if you wanted to. Use pecan pie. Anyway, there you go. Those are your boxes. So I hope you enjoyed that project. And let me get our 4th bingo going. Oh, I'm so glad you guys liked it. All right, here we go. Number 1 is number 2. Good luck, everybody. First number is number 2. Number 10. Number 24. number 22. Number 9. Number 8. Number 16. 16. Okay, lots of B's and some BI's popping up. 15. Ooh, got a BIN from Carol. Number 5. $27. All right, Carmen has a BIN. Cheryl has a BIN. 18. Ooh, Rosie now. 26. $25. Sherry has a BIN now. 28. Number 19. And Lisa has a BING. Carmen has a BING. Number 11. Number 11. We're getting close. The Masked Stamper has a BING. Lori has BING. And the next number is a 7. Rosie has. You guys are all getting close. I put number 7 down. Number 29. Number 29. So now you guys see how I'm slowing down because I know we're getting really close. Number 4. Number 4. number 12. All right, Sherry has a B-I-N-G, Rosie, lots of B-I-N-Gs. We're getting close. Very close. All right. I thought for sure 12 was going to take you guys over. Ooh, there's not many left. Let's try to grab one. Number 30. I don't think we see 30 very often, do we? I don't feel like it. Number 30. Bingo. Lori has a bingo. Let's check. All right, Lori. First time playing, I believe, Lori, right? 9, 18, 30, 28, and 11. Congratulations, Lori. I believe it's her first time playing. So, Lori, you're going to send me your order of $100 or more. The first $100 I will pay when I get your order. And then I will invoice you for the balance. And I've been rubbing my hair the whole time. And I will put an invoice with a screenshot of your total so that you understand, you know, that what your total was, and then the first 100, and then you'll pay the difference. And I'll send that with an invoice to you. So just email me your order. And if you can do it by the 30th, because I am leaving the 31st. So if everybody could do it by the 30th. Also, it cannot be pre-order items, just so you know. And tomorrow I will be back because I'm going to open that box right there and I will do an unboxing. So it'll be another long video. It's going to be during the day sometime because I'm going to put that together probably first thing in the morning and then have it ready to go and figure out a time, and I'll at least give you a 30-minute notice of when I'm going to go on. And I'm guessing it's going to be early afternoon because tomorrow's Thursday. We need to start packing for a trip. So probably early afternoon would be my guess. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, somewhere in there. So I will let you know. You'll get a notice. I know I have the hiccups. You'll get a notice like you do for bingo, that it'll say that I'll be coming on, and then we'll get to see all the new goodies and play with them and all that good stuff. So, all right. You are so welcome. I'm glad you guys had a good time. Yeah, I would suggest doing darker letters. I like the white idea because you can make them anything you want. But look how pretty this green would be, like Granny Apple green. Maybe do that. There's lots of different colors. I think pecan pie would be really pretty. There's a lot of colors on here. Even Cajun craze would be really pretty. So just pick out a color and do it. I wish I would have done those a different color because you can't see them that well. But you know what it is, right? But look, see how these are darker and they look better. So I would do darker. And don't forget to put your magnets on before the... because you can put them on with the glue dot, and then I would put glue around it and then put your DSP on it. And then that way you can kind of really rub that magnet in there. But this is why I do it before I send the kits out, in case I forgot something, or I can give you tips and tricks, because I know I could look at something and go, oh, I could do this. And then I miss a step, or I forget something, or I should have listened to the tips and tricks first. Oh, yes, Sherry, I sure can. So I usually do, and I guess I'm in a hurry to get my goodie box open. All right, so here is project number 1. And this is that's the one that I did. Project number 2. Project number 3. And then project number 4. I'm going to show it with the darker letters so you guys do darker letters, which is your recipe box. And you'll get some recipe cards in there to do, to create your project. Oh, good, Judith. I'm glad you had a good time. So there you go. Those are the projects that we did today. I have some great projects. We're using Ferniflora next month. We're also, let me go glance real quick so I can kind of tell you the projects I've done already. Ferniflora, Flowering Meadow, and we're using the sketched artisan paper. So those for sure are going to go in next month. And then we'll see after that what else I come up with. I'm sure I might, it's going to be some of the newer release stuff because I want to, use some of that. Don't forget, below is a link of all the products that I used tonight. I will go back in and number all the projects so you can come back and create the ones that you want to first, or skip all the bingo stuff and go to the projects. Also, don't forget you can register for June's bingo, which is listed below also. My Silly Old Bear class is sold out, but the PDF and video link is still available for you, and it's 7 projects. And I showed them 2 videos ago, I believe. So if you're interested in seeing what the projects are, they're on there. Where do you sign up for the next month? Lisa, below in YouTube, click on the description. It's going to say more. And just click on that little more button in the description area where you see how many viewers are watching now. And then under the more, you'll see down below some links, and it's going to say June Bingo on there. Okay. Don't forget, if you put $100 order or more in, not in conjunction with bingo, before tax and shipping and Stampin' Rewards, I will send you a flat rate medium box filled with goodies. And I am having a pickup tomorrow. All your bingo and the boxes I already have done are going to be picked up tomorrow. So that'll be going. Otherwise, I'll be back next week. I will not be here on Friday because I did bingo tonight. And I will not be here on Monday. It's Memorial Day. Everybody, please have a very safe Memorial Day. I will be glamping and stamping. I say and stamping because I'm bringing some stuff for the late nights and when they're out night fishing. I'll go during the day out fishing with my husband, but I'm not going to go night fishing. It's too cold. But anyway, have a great, great Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, but I'll be here tomorrow for a sneak peek. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.